Antino's well cleared. 3 lengths in front of the Wayne Wilson and kept going. It's all Antino, and Antino wins again. Antino from second. What a wonderful gallop.
Welcome to this week's edition of The Final Gallop. It is episode 297 and, as always, proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. Shortly we are going to get into our preview for the runners at Eagle Farm on Saturday, but today with trainer Tony Gollan still enjoying the carver in Fiji, we've got a suitable and fully capable fill-in, Bailey Notiff. He's joining us this morning. Well, what a week it's been for the stable. 10 winners and breaking the Queensland Metropolitan record for the winners for a season, now sitting at 143.5.
Yeah, good morning, Claire. Yeah, it was a massive week for the stable last week. We were here, there and everywhere, and the team done a super job. The crew in Rocky got 3 winners, so that was really good. And here at Doomben we ticked over the record Metro wins, so massive week, and everyone's really proud of our achievements this season.
Absolutely we are. Now this week we have our latest promotion courtesy of the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. The prize is a degustation dinner for 2 at the Apron Restaurant at the Pullman Brisbane Airport. To enter, head to our Facebook page and look for this week's post about the final gallop. Click on the link that we provide and enter your details to go in the draw to win. And the winner will be announced on next week's show. And just also a shout out to the Men's Matter Race Day at Aquis Park, Gold Coast this Saturday. It's a really fabulous race day that Tony really supports and tries to get behind, raising awareness and fundraising for men's health charities. For the occasion, the Gold Coast Turf Club is offering 50% off general admission. Tickets for all men purchased online at www.gctc.com.au. Now on to the preview of our runners for Eagle Farm on Saturday. The rail is in the half a metre position. The track is currently a soft 5 with sunny days ahead. How do you think the track's going to race on Saturday, Bailey?
It'll be interesting because lately at Eagle Farm, the past few meetings there, it's been quite wet, and they've been really wanting to get out to the centre of the track and beyond. So rail goes back into the half metre. A lot of wind gusts around as well, so the track should dry out, should nearly get to a good 4. I'd say you wouldn't want to be right hard on the fence as customary at Eagle Farm, but look, it should play pretty fair. Hopefully sort of the speed and tempo of the races can really determine the winners, and there's not too much bias, but if there is, I'm sure Tony and Cav will detect that early on, and we might have to make some adjustments, but just hoping for a really fair track.
Exactly. We do kick off in race 1, which is the Class 3 handicap over 1,200 metres. We have 3 runners in this. The first one we'll talk about is Daytona, who's over there with Maddie, lurking around in her blues jumper. She's a bit of a mad dog, that one. Anyway, back to Daytona. He'll carry 59.5 kilos with Jim Yorman on board from Barrier 1. He's currently paying $8 to win at the moment and $2.70 the place. It was a good win last start. Good win to start his preparation, then a couple of strong finishing efforts. Last start just got too far back on Ipswich Cup Day, but he did motor home. Correct,
going really well, this horse. All his runs this prep have been super. 2 starts ago, arguably should have won at Doomben, and last start, just tempo never really suited him. He got right back, and he was probably the best closer in the whole race. So gates are really important to this horse. Barrier 1, it's just all about getting him to switch off and in the early stages and sort of just letting him finish off. So look, Barrier 1, big help. He doesn't have to get as far back as he has been, and he can probably just land 3rd pair on it, and there's good tempo in this, relax, and he'll be really hard to beat this horse. I think he's over the odds. Okay, next runner is Spirit Queen. She'll carry 58.5 kilos. Ryan Maloney on board, Barrier 12. She's paying $7.50 to win at the moment and $2.60 for the place. Similar to Daytona, with a win first up and then 2 fast finishing efforts. Last start missed by less than a length, but the draw makes it a little bit tough. It does for her. Back to Eagle Farm, a track she has really good stats at. Obviously drawn 12. She's going to probably have to go back in the second half of the field where that is. We don't really want to go right back to last, but if she has to get cover, she probably will. She'll be closing really hard in this race. It's just how far back she has to get. Okay, the third runner is Pure Paradise, 58 kilos, Angela Jones on board, Barrier 9. She's paying $3.80 to win and $1.75 for the place. She is having her second start for our stable, this 3-year-old filly. Was a solid third for us at Eagle Farm against her own age and sex last time out. It was a good run. It was a real up-tempo sort of race, and she was first up for our stable, and she was sort of just in behind riding that speed, so she wasn't probably going that much slower than the leaders. So she ultimately just knocked up that last little bit. She'll improve a hell of a lot out of that run. Hopefully from barrier 9, Ange can get a bit of luck early and she can sort of land 3rd or 4th pair. And with that improvement from her first up run, she's riding a race like this.
Okay, so out of the 3 of them, I'm picking you've got Daytona on top?
Yeah, I've got Daytona on top just because he's a horse. He's got a lot of ability and he's got a good barrier, so look, he gets his chance on Saturday.
Absolutely. We got a race 2 now, which is the benchmark 78 handicap over the 2,200 metres. 5th position will run in this, 59.5 kilos. Jimmy Orman will ride him. Jumping from barrier 4, he's paying $12 to win and $3.50 for the place. He's a really hard horse to get a line on this one. The better track conditions on Saturday and the step up in grade, step up in trip should suit, all of the gear comes off, lots of gear changes. Yep,
strangest horse in the stable. Tried different tactics last start. He led at a really good tempo, and when he turned for home, he just started wandering around like he was a 2-year-old colt. So all the gear comes off. Not much tempo in this race, there's a couple there. It's just whether or not last start has fired him up too much. If not, he could probably just land in the 2nd pair here with a bit of cover. And look, if he turns up, he can run top 3 for sure. It's just whether or not he does.
Yes, and that will be completely up to him.
Correct.
Okay, now we'll go to race 4, which is the 2-year-old handicap over the 1,200 metres. We have Surprise Honey running in this race with 55 kilos. Angela Jones takes the reins. Barrier 1, she's paying $6 to win and $2.10 for the place. She's a really well-bred filly that is chasing her first win. Last start, at her 2nd start, she was just overrun late by a dual group, 2-year-old group place getter.
Correct, it was a good run. Ange comments post-race were that she just feels better, feels like she'll be a better horse with a sit and something to chase. She sort of travelled well outside the leader, but she really didn't have that ping off the corner. She sort of just maintained her run to the line. So look, gate 1, there's no reason she probably couldn't land 2nd pair here. There's nice speed in it, as there is in the 2-year-old handicaps over 1,200 metres. So look, barrier 1, she's either 2nd pair or 3rd pair, getting a good run, and look, she's really fit, up to the mark, and she'll run really well.
Okay. Race 6 is the Class 6 plate over 1,200 metres. We have 2 runners. The first one we'll talk about is Mullane, 58.5 kilos. Jimmy Orman on board, barrier 4. He's paying $3.20 to win and $1.60 for the place. Flew home last start, to just missed 2 starts ago, and then was only a length from 2nd last start at this same track and trip. He is drawn to get a nice run.
Yeah, he is. He's probably our best chance on the day. He's been really unlucky his last 2 starts. Tempo against and bad barriers have been the only reason he hasn't gone. He hasn't won his last 2 starts. So look, barrier 4, he's quite similar to Daytona. They've got to be ridden in a certain way. They have to be switched off early and saved up for the run home. So Jimmy knows this horse well. He's rode him a few times now. Really good tempo in this race. He doesn't have to get right back, similar to Daytona. He can land 3rd, 4th pair, just wherever he's happy, and he's dropping the bridle and relaxing. That's the most important thing. And yeah, as long as he can get clear air, he'll be really hard to beat.
Okay, the second runner we have is Standing Order, 57 kilos. Ryan Maloney on board, barrier 9. He's paying $7 to win and $2.50 for the place. Yet to win in 3 starts this preparation, but was much improved last start on Ipswich Cup Day over the 1350. Drops back to 1,200 metres here with a good record at this track and distance.
Yeah, correct. He probably didn't enjoy the heavy tracks his first 2 runs back from a spell. He got back onto a firmer deck 3rd up at Ipswich, and Tony just thought he's just lacking a bit of confidence from them 2 heavy track runs. So look, he ran really well the other day. Should have gained some confidence out of that. Back to 1,200 suits. 1,350 is probably as far as he wants. It's just the map here from the awkward draw. He's a horse that either has to lead or be outside them. He doesn't like being sort of inside them, getting cluttered up. Yeah. So look, he's probably going to have to do a bit of work to obtain a position sort of outside them here. I don't think he'll be able to lead, but look, he'll run really well. He just needs a bit of luck early.
But Mullane on top.
Mullane on top for sure.
Okay. Race 9 is the Benchmark 78 handicap over the mile. Another race with 2 runners. We'll start with Sunset Soiree, 58.5 kilos. Ryan Maloney rides. Barrier 16. She's paying $4 to win and $1.85 for the place. Won 3 starts ago at this track and Trip before stepping up in Trip in her latest 2. Big drop in Trip for this and has drawn wide.
Yeah, drawing wide is probably not ideal for her. She actually jumped really well up to the 2000 the other day, and she was actually rolling forward but had no luck. She was caught 3 deep the whole way. She's been fresh into this back to the mile. She's really fresh in herself, so I don't think that's a concern. It's just the barrier. If she does begin slow, she's going to be right back on a slow tempo here. So look, leave it up to Ryan. If she begins well, like she did the other day, she could probably actually even roll forward and roll into a spot. But look, if she begins slow, she's going to be back on a slow tempo. But definitely probably the best horse in the race, but just needs a lot of luck.
Second runner is Blazing Boots. He'll carry 56.5 kilos with Angela Jones on board, barrier 12. He's paying $5 to win at the moment and $2.10 for the place. He's another that won a couple of starts ago over the mile and then was strong to the line for third in this grade on Ipswich Cup Day without really threatening. He's another with a tricky draw.
Yeah, tricky draw, but I think he'll be forward of the tempo here from the gate. It's a lovely start. The mile start here at Eagle Farm, so look, I think Ange will begin on him, roll forward. Like I said, there's not much tempo here, and he did sit outside lead when he won at Doomben 2 starts back, so that's not a concern. And yeah, look, he should get the right run, and he'll be hard to beat for sure.
Okay, so he's on top of Sunset Soiree just with the
barriers and how the race is going to sort of set up for both of them.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, we are into the final furlong of this week's final gallop. Who do you think our best winning chance at Eagle Farm on Saturday is?
Mullane for sure.
Mullane for sure. Okay. Best each way chance?
Daytona in the first. I think he's $7.50 and $2 something for the place, so that's really good odds.
And he's listening to you.
He is.
He is. He's a good looking boy too.
He is.
Best track worker this week?
Ooh. Kurt was pretty happy with Mullane, so.
Okay.
Go Mullane.
Go Mullane. Mullane's getting lots of mentions this week.
He is.
Okay, the best at the provincials. We have Ipswich Friday, Toowoomba Saturday, and the Sunshine Coast on Sunday.
Got two-year-olds going to Toowoomba that are in the noms. Obviously, barrier dependent, Explosive Tycoon, and Out of Control. Probably have Explosive Tycoon on top there, just because he's had the race experience and he trialled up pretty good the other day. Best is at the provincials is probably Lantau Island though on Sunday.
Okay, fair enough. And who do you think our winner of the week was out of the 10 of them?
Hard to pick. Probably Invincible Shield. Really good horse going forward. Not the finished product yet, so very exciting times ahead for him. And
you're a bit biased. You've got a bit of a soft spot for him.
So very biased,
Very biased. Okay, now it is time for Cav's Corner, which is supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. Cav is riding high again with his multi-win with Brereton into Invincible Shield. Let's see what he's got for us this week.
Welcome to Cav's Corner for this week. I had a tiny bit of joy last week. This week we'll venture to Eagle Farm. We'll go Daytona, a place, into Mullane, a win. Good punting, guys.
So he's got Daytona a place, Mullane to win. He's like Tony, he copies your homework as well.
Well, me best each way and best bet, so look, I really like it. And hopefully he can keep on his winning roll.
Yes, let's hope so. Anyway, good luck at Eagle Farm on Saturday, Bailey, with Tony back on deck, hopefully to saddle up more Metro winners.
Thank you very much, Claire.
Best of luck to everyone over the weekend.